evening. Welcome back to the Suit Up Geek Fix channel. We are here today to review She-Hulk episode 4. Is this real magic? I believe that was the title of the episode. Down below, we got Amanda. We have our special guest, Gabe, aka Film Opinionitis, and of course, Rye, our other member of the Suit Up Geeks. How's everyone doing today?
I'm chilling, baby. I'm
Yeah,
chilling. Unfortunately, watching She-Hulk.
damn,
I
what a
closed
way
my
to start
garage.
your show.
So
I'm
it's
so
103 in
excited.
Cali right now. It's probably going to be like 110 in this garage, but you know what? I'm going to suffer for you guys. So without further ado, let's kind of just jump into this thing. By the way, spoilers if you haven't seen this episode of She-Hulk. Let's dive in. Again, it's a little bit wacky, a little bit off the wall, but I think my saving grace is that I thought Donnie Blaze was a lot more fun than the jerk from the last episode. That was just, there's no redeeming qualities about that cardboard cutout terrible male character. At least Donnie Blaze had some fun to it, and I thought the whole demons thing with Wong was fun. Let me throw this down to Rye, because I just gotta hear your ever more pouring love for this show.
Bro, the joke about Wong supremacy on Twitter is exactly how they wrote this entire show. The joke in the show explains the entire writing team's look into what they need to perfect the show in their idea in their minds. And I didn't need a full episode of wizard magic courtroom drama, which was just like so odd that it wasn't appealing. It didn't do anything unique. The courtroom stuff is just so boring as usual because you can just tell that they have no clue what they're writing about. Just like Gabe said, Gabe said in the chat earlier, just nothing when it comes to the legal side of this show makes absolutely any sense whatsoever. I will say the CGI did enhance, but only when the scenes were darker and she was like She-Hulk on the dates. But that's about it. I can't stand the writing. It's so frustrating. Like you report. Well, I'm sorry, you got me going on a roll now. You're
No,
pointing
good,
out
good. No,
how
I'm actually glad you mentioned that because there was some moments she looked really good, especially like you said when she's sitting at the computer or her phone, whatever she's doing the matcher thing, and like her skin looked really good. And then with the part where it got really bad was when she was with Wong and they were like in like a work office. The lighting on that looked really bad. I was like, oh shit, we're getting the bad Hulk again. But let me throw this down to our special guest, Gabe, co-host of Cinespection, also on the Painted Lines Network, Mr. Filmy Opinionitis himself, Mr. Hot Takes. How are you, my friend?
Hopefully not Mr. Hot Takes. Well, here, look, I mean, I think I'm gonna disagree to a certain level with each of you, but I've been really enjoying this show because of how truly terrible it is, because it's like I've told you guys, it feels like it's written by an alien that's never met a human being before. Like it's just like somebody, like an alien came to Earth in the 80s and then left, came back, spent like 2 days on Twitter, and then wrote this show. So I like it because of that little charm that it has, because it just like, it's incredible how poorly made it is. That being said, this episode actually annoyed me because I feel like they took a really big stretch with like kind of like trying to make this conflict compelling about some magician. Like I just feel like shows like this are
it's
like
a Disney Channel like episode arc. That's the first thing that came to my head.
but
Sorry,
this
I
is,
just want to throw that out there.
yeah, but this is the Disney Channel, just a modern version of it, but it's like the same thing, you know, like it's the problem is that like it relied a lot on like I feel like these shows are created for like fans like us, you know, people that follow the MCU really closely, and you kind of like know, and I feel like somebody in the MCU would know that a magician and a wizard are not the same thing, you know, and then this one like really confuses that concept for some litigation that doesn't make any sense, and like I don't even want to get into the legals, but like it's just it was
Hey,
just
by the way, if nobody knows, we have an actual lawyer in the house, so he can lawyer proof this show for us. So
Well, I'm gonna try not to do that, but hopefully not to do that much. But it does feel like even somebody that's seen like a good John Grisham movie would be like, hey, this kind of like doesn't add up, like it just doesn't, especially the trademark part, which we'll talk about eventually. But other than that, all three
Bro.
episodes I'd enjoyed to certain levels. This one I did not.
I feel the exact same way. I just did not like the whole Johnny Blaze situation. I know that like he's supposed to be a mixture of like Ghost Rider, like they're supposed to do like that spoof, which annoyed me. Because it's a mix
That's
of
his
two
name,
characters.
right? Yeah.
That's why it was like it. I don't know why they did it. They said it on like I think on the red carpet that people are going to get mad that they're going to kind of hint at Ghost Rider but not use Ghost Rider. That's why I was like
No
confused
way,
if they
bro.
did that. Dead ass. That's what they said on the red carpet.
But
That's
isn't
what I'm
there a
saying.
Ghost Rider already in this? Like, wasn't there like that guy
No.
who played the Terminator? Wasn't he Ghost Rider in?
No.
He was in
Agents of
Agents
S.H.I.E.L.D.
In Agents of Shield, yeah,
with the
Gabriel Luna was Ghost
Yeah.
Rider, but that's a different carnation of the character. He wasn't Johnny Blaze.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
it's
he's
like
a totally
play.
different character.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And now
But
this
like
is like
that
a
show's
play
not
off
even
of it.
connected to the MCU.
Mm-mm. Like at all.
Yeah, did we pass it off to Mando already? Sorry, I had a
No, you were in the middle of
moment
something.
over
I just
here.
kind of I took it. I didn't like this episode at all. Like I just didn't care for it. For me, it's more so like I'm so interested in the duality of Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk, and they never fully like dive
There's no
into that.
duality, bro. There's no duality.
It's all just She-Hulk. That's my issue with this. Is like there's so much like internal like conflict that we could see and like have her, this character develop. And struggle with being She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters, especially being like a woman in her 30s, and like they touched upon it, but they never like fully dive into it. And that's my issue with this show, is that it's all surface level, and there's so much stuff that they can really go into for this character, and they're just not doing it. So that's what really pissed me off in this episode.
No, well said. And I think that like especially in terms of like the matcher jokes, like as much as that was like a punchline, sorry. As much as that was a punchline, I actually think there's more to it. Like you said, you want to see more Jen Walters. I thought it was interesting how the guy saw her as Jen Walters, and he was like, "Yeah, I gotta go." Like, I think there's more like that's like a little hint of what you mean is like there's some drama here that we can unfold, and it's just not flowing the way it should. So
Yeah.
I want to see what's up to everyone in the comments. John Daniel, thanks for joining us. He's bringing up Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider. I can't do the comments. I was wondering why. I kept trying to click
I'll
it.
do it.
Hi to Caitlin as well, one of our resident people that have joined us. Yeah, so is there anything positive we can take away from this show, though? Like, let's just go into favorite moments, Amanda. Favorite moments from the show?
Anything with Wong, literally. He just makes it fun. You know what I mean? Like, there's just nothing great. I know, don't give me that face, right? I'm just saying, like, for me, Tatiana's great, don't get me wrong, but again, it comes down to the writing, and it just never fully pulls me into this episode. I'm rolling my eyes, the jokes don't land, and at least Wong is like a fun cameo, and I know that he's like put in a box because of She-Hulk and the whole sitcom vibe, so he's really like out of character, but I don't know, for me, whenever I see Wong, I'm just really happy. All the magic stuff annoyed, just everything to do with Johnny Blaze. I'm like, but why is this necessary if it's a spoof of Ghost Rider? Like, that pissed me off. But yeah, Wong,
positives.
Wong, yes, Wong. Everything Wong supremacy. I will take that.
Don't you feel like Benedict Wong? He's a great actor. Everybody loves him, but he plays Wong, even though he's always good. But he plays a different character every time he plays Wong. Like, he's like a different kind of guy. Like, here he was like into crying with the Sopranos or something.
Yeah,
kudos
right.
to him. Kudos. Oh yeah, I said that last week.
I didn't mind that at all, and I'm a huge Wong defender. So if he wants to watch Sopranos hugging a pillow, let him watch Sopranos. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh
No.
Oh, Mr. Crockpot in the house. Welcome. The geeks are fully assembled. He's rocking Minas Tirith. Dives, let's just go right to you. This is a late breaking announcement. How much did you hate this episode?
Oh God, it's Where do we begin? Like I feel
Wait, I
like
know where to begin because we were just in positives. So why don't you do that first?
I have no popcorn for this time.
I have no positives. There's absolutely nothing redeeming at all about this show whatsoever. The show is below mediocre. It's surviving off cameos. Disney and the MCU clearly have no idea how to stay afloat without cameos. And I agree with Amanda said. Like without Wong, there's nothing entertaining about this show whatsoever. I feel like it doesn't take itself seriously to its own detriment. It makes no sense. I have no clue why there was a court scene that had no idea why magic existed. Are we supposed to completely forget that Doctor Strange just released a movie in the MCU? How is Donnie Blaze summoning portals from random demon dimensions after No Way Home? It seems like anyone can use those rings. And apparently Doctor Strange struggled for nothing, just like Bruce Banner for the first decade. Are we supposed to believe that there's people literally out there who think Tatiana Maslany is a 6 and would just drop her like what are we doing here?
To be fair, they did say he did study Kamartaj for a while. I believe they acknowledged that.
I want whatever the writers are smoking.
Woo!
How about
Dives came in hot, and look, I actually got to agree with him because as much as I'm having fun with this show and he's not, I think that it really undermines not only Kamartaj, but it undermines, like he's saying, Doctor Strange and Wong. It makes them look like fools if anybody off the street can just summon a demon out of a portal. Like, it's definitely like plays with our intelligence as an audience, I think. So,
But like,
I
bro,
agree with Dives.
why does Wong need a fucking lawyer?
why does he need to go to American law to begin with? The dude is the sorcerer freaking supreme.
Exactly. Like, bro, why does the Sorcerer Supreme need some fucking head of some superhuman law division? Like, bro, it's magic. That's not super.
Just go, take the ring, and walk away.
Yo,
I
exactly.
know.
Or
Literally,
you could do the thing.
He has
The
no
thing
clue
that
how
they
to use
do.
it.
They
He
think
has
that
no
they do
clue how
with
to use it.
the big monster of the Black Order. Is that the name? The Black, like Thanos's Black Order.
I fucking
The
That's
bad
what
guys.
it's called. Yeah, his crew
Yeah,
is the Black.
And one
Order.
of them, they cut his arm out with the circles, with the sparkly circles. Remember?
Yeah, the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so they could just do that and cut that guy's arm out, and just you get the ring and you're done.
Bro, the dude's
No,
a
there's a
literal
lot of things he
fucking-
could have done to kill this situation, but for the Disney Channel's sake, we had a fun little silly episode.
Right.
So,
oh my
but
god.
Dives, we just talked about how you had no positives, right? Let's throw it up to Gabe. Did you have a favorite moment from this? I know you didn't love this one either, but
You know, I liked like when I saw the trailer. Like I think I told you guys, I was like, "This looks so bad. I'm gonna be into it because and it's just as bad as I expected." But a moment that I liked from the trailer was the moment where like she's with a guy in the couch and they're about to, go be intimate, and she just carries him and his head hits like
Aw.
the light, like I thought
Still
it was
didn't
funny
knock
in
some
the
sense
trailer.
into him.
Yeah, so I like that in the show even more. I think that was good. They kind of blew it with him being another douche the next morning, which was expected, I guess, from the show. But like that moment made me laugh again, even though I'd seen it before.
no, there's something about an image of like a pretty decent sized, like fit guy just getting babied like that. Like,
Exactly.
getting it's like the way you carry your bride home to the bed when it's like it's time to do your wedding night. So
Exactly.
Right. Do you have any redeeming qualities? Is there a moment that you enjoyed in this
absolutely
episode?
nothing redeemable in this show. Like, honestly, the only thing that the show can be redeemed is getting upgraded trash bag in its history, but I don't really know what that includes. Maybe
But you guys like Hawkeye, like honestly. I don't get it.
bro,
Oh,
I
you
fucking
didn't?
love Hawkeye. What's your
Ryan
problem,
is the
bro?
only one, literally, that I know that loves that show. The only
I
one.
was gonna say I didn't love Hawkeye, but I didn't hate it either. It was kind of
I
mid
didn't-
for me.
I did
but-
not dislike Hawkeye. I just called it like average.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I have to say is, I don't know. I've seen a lot of discourse about Hawkeye, and I've seen a lot of people just straight up call it trash. And say what you want, but then everyone's saying fucking She-Hulk is either fucking downright hilarious, and there's like no none of the problems actually are problems. They enhance the project if you just go with it. But like, if we're making projects to just go with it, what's the fucking point of it? That's
So
not an art
what
form.
do you
I
prefer? Do you
agree.
prefer the LARPers or Tim Roth just like chewing the scenery for 20 minutes?
Oh,
That's
easily.
LARPers.
Wow,
LARPers all day,
LARPers.
baby.
Look,
Yeah.
to be fair, Gabe, if you guys remember, I ripped the LARPers. I hated that so much.
That was such a funny show. Oh my god.
I hate
Oh,
it.
That's
I
what
hate
I-
Hawkeye,
I mean,
hate
it's true.
Christmas.
That was
It's
so
true.
That's a great question, Gabe.
Hey, defend it with your chest, Christian. I respect it. Look, actually, I don't have access to our thing right now, but Amanda, can you pull
You
up,
hate Christmas.
can you pull up Caitlin's comment about I feel for Jen? They only want her if she's Hulk.
Yeah.
So this is
the
actually what I was
landlord.
alluding to earlier. Heat stroke made me have a brain fart and I couldn't talk. But pretty
Oh.
much this is what I was getting at. Like that feeling in the morning when the guy left her and she was like, fuck, wow, he doesn't want me. He wants Hulk. And I think that if they played into this drama a little bit more, would any of you guys have any care for it? Because I
Wait,
think that's
hold
really
on.
interesting.
Can I just ask this question?
Insane.
Why is anyone shocked that he left in the morning being like, oh, I didn't want to sleep with you, when she made it an account specifically for
like a-
She-Hulk
Yeah.
after realizing it's not working as
It's
just
like a-
Jen Walters?
That's
It's like
true.
a catfish type situation.
It's like she wants us to feel bad for her, which I would, but you're just luring in a guy to sleep with you because you can't get a guy looking your normal way. So
See-
they're trying to say that you need to be someone different. I don't know. I'm trying to look too far into it, but
You're
I'm just
not.
saying all that is just like so fucking stupid. And
I agree with
whatever
you.
message they're trying to get across there just fails on every single spectrum, on top of nearly every episode. Literally at least two separate douchebag guys just
Yeah.
come into a bar scene randomly with her best friend, who has no purpose for being on this show other than to experience the sexism that is so forcefully pushed and handed down our throats in this show, that I'm sitting here like, oh my God, bro, can you guys just tell me straight up what you want? Like, I'm tired of this fucking tease right now. It's I hate it. I hate it. Sorry, man.
Go ahead, Amanda.
No, I completely understand what you're saying. And I think that the issue with those scenes with Jen dating would have been more effective if they actually have a couple of lines of her saying, you know, like just looking at herself and saying, but what's wrong with Jen? Like, what's wrong with me? Why is She-Hulk working? Why is She-Hulk getting the jobs? Like, if she had like her own conversations with herself instead of like a fourth wall, or even talk to us and about how she's feeling, those scenes would be more effective. The weekly douchebag type situation can also work if it's written properly, but it's not written properly. Like, I've watched movies where they've had that and it's fine and it's not like shoved down our throats, but in this case it's like every single scene, every single episode has to deal with that. And like, I understand that like it's authentic way of living as a woman, but it doesn't have to be in every single episode. Yeah, sure, it happens every day, but like not to that extent. And it's just the fact that they have no form of like expanding on her struggles as a woman, and it's just more geared towards She-Hulk, and that's what's really irritating me about this. So
It's
I
also
feel what you're
the
saying.
show. The show has no sense of like, because it was written by an alien who came to Earth in the 80s. It feels like it has no sense of what's called like setup and payoff. Like the setup for her having it like starting to date, like there's no setup. The episode starts and she's like setting up her profile, but it's like, why is she setting up her profile? Like, was there something like she was like, you know, personally looking for a boyfriend? I mean, I know those things in real life. You just one day decide to open Tinder, you know, but her just like all of a sudden she's like trying. So if they had set up like, hey, you know, I'm feeling like nobody likes me for me. They only like me for She-Hulk. So I'm going to date. So I find a guy that likes me for me. And then she realizes, oh, now that I'm She-Hulk, people only want She-Hulk. And that's how you establish a conflict and set up. But the show is just has no idea how to do that. They're just like, oh, this is a good joke.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
It's the jokes. It's the jokes that overpowered this stuff, and it's powerful shit that they can write for this woman in her own like female-led show, and that's what's pissing me off is that they're just joke. Like, when did we go back to that? That was
But-
an early
if there was, if you were to make this a rom-com about Jennifer Walters, like, and her struggle with, dating and things like that, like, I would be all in on that. If they were to focus in on that and somehow make it that way, it would sound so much more interesting. But that's the thing I struggle with the most is I just don't relate to Jennifer Walters' character. Like you guys said, there's no struggle. Everything feels inconsequential. It's just too lighthearted for its own good. And I know a lot of people are digging it, and I'm happy you are. I'm super happy you're enjoying She-Hulk. But for me, there's just no heart or plot or anything warmth to this story whatsoever that I can't just grab onto. And for the most part, it's just She-Hulk making fun of the OG characters here. And I just give me something to grab a hold of. I'm trying to watch this show. I'm trying.
There's no emotional connection to her, like, whatsoever.
Because I think our problem is to like kind of tag off of what you were saying, Deebs, is in the first episode, you at least get a sense of one powerful scene between her and Bruce when she talks about the struggle she goes through. And then it's ruined by the joke. But you see that there's some hope there for them being able to explore that more. But ever since that episode, every time there's ever been an encounter with a male, it's always been her blowing them off, her breaking the fourth wall, joking about how this always happens and all men are dicks. Or she just looks sad for a second and then her and her best friend just go back to talking. There's no real consequence, or you don't feel like she's actually being affected by the real world problems they're trying to represent through this. It just feels like, hey, someone walk on to say she looks fucking hot and you want to have sex with her. That's what it feels like, is someone just telling someone to go onto set, no script whatsoever, just reading off something, and they're like, boom, that's it. We're saying the message with this show, guys. And it feels like there's no passion in what they actually want to say, and everything just has to be, I don't want to say ruined by a joke, but everything is a joke in this show.
Can I answer this question?
Yeah.
So how about She-Hulk getting her powers within 24 hours and making fun of Bruce Banner the entire process? How about Emil Blonsky learning how to control his Hulk with
this
nothing?
episode.
No, I'm speaking. What I was referring to was Jennifer Walters' character, not just this episode, but in general. How about Emil Blonsky just learning how to control the Hulk like it was nothing? Zero struggle again. How about making Wong a complete idiot, a bumbling? Like, this guy's supposed to be an intelligent sorcerer supreme, and there's no buy-in with this show, and that just comes back to I just don't relate, and I can't find any heart. Like, actually, what I will say, probably the best two characters that with the best dynamic in the show is Tatiana and her dad. I actually relatively enjoy that dynamic, and you don't get any of it.
All in the Game is really grilling you, Dibes. He's asking if you'll tune in next week.
Of course I will.
Of course.
I mean, don't you guys want to see his anger come out every week with how bad this show is?
Wait, can I just tell you guys how badly my face hurt after I watched this episode from cringing so hard on the main setup for the primary season villain, Titania, like a fucking copyright lawsuit
Trademark.
A trademark lawsuit on your fucking name.
Lord.
Like, of all fucking things on this planet, you choose. Like, I'm not saying it wouldn't happen in real life, but in terms of writing, write something interesting. We go to the movies, we watch shows and stuff to watch life that we don't experience. We don't want to watch something that we just experience every day.
This
Like,
show
I
is
don't.
not real. Like
Well-
it's very, very far for anything any human has ever experienced. This is not how humanity works. Like this
No.
show, honestly, was written by an alien. They have no idea what they're talking about. Like
They have no
I-
idea how anything
underst-
works in writing or the general aspect of the world. Like
I understand what they're
the
trying
the
to
real
do.
world and the MCU world too. Both
Yeah.
worlds.
Go ahead, man.
No, I understand what they're trying to do, like, but they're really pushing the authenticity of like a woman in the workplace and everyday life. But like, yes, she's a woman, but she's also She-Hulk, and like there has to be that conflict between the two of them. Like obviously, Bruce and the Hulk, they were at odds multiple times. So it's like, how can she just adapt and just like morph into She-Hulk? And like, who cares about the rest of it? Like, it doesn't matter. Like that's what's bothering me about it. I get that they want to write a woman's journey authentically as possible, but like there are ways to not put it in our faces 24/7.
let me say something, because something that really bothered me this episode. Again, I was like completely into this because it was just so bad. I was having so much fun, but this episode it started to bother me that every single character except for her is just a cartoon, especially her best friend, whose name with a gun to my head I can't remember what the best
Nikki.
friend's name is. Nick, really?
She has no
Oh.
purpose, but yes, her name is Nikki.
She's just there to quip like, ooh, that
Freaking
is
broke
funny,
my eardrum.
and it's like you
Like,
can't
hey,
just
Jen,
like
you're doing work stuff.
Oh, by the way, she's
Yeah.
in like none of the she's in none of the actual court scenes either. Like at least Pug, the other character, is in court scenes. He had his own last episode, but like her best friend is, like I said, literally only there to talk to her in her office or be there in a bar to experience when a guy's hitting on her abruptly. Those are the
Okay, go
only
ahead, Gabe.
two instances. It's fucking annoying.
Were you saying something else about that though, Gabe?
about the character. Well, there's a test that I think it was Red Letter Media that they try to make with to criticize Star Wars Episode 1, which let's not turn this into a Star Wars conversation, but they were like, try to describe any of the characters in Star Wars Episode 1 without saying their profession. Like try to describe like their feelings, their mindset. And I feel like in this show, like how would you describe anybody in the show except for like what they do? So the friend is just the friend. She doesn't really do anything else except being the friend. Wong is nothing else except for the guy who shows up this episode. You know, there's a bit more to She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters or whatever, but everybody else is just there to like be there, you know?
Everyone's there to just move the plot along. That's the purpose. Like no other rhyme or reason where I mean that's a pretty
plot?
generic way of saying it.
What?
That's a whatever
And-
the story of the week is. That's what
Yeah,
I'll
but-
consider the plot because I don't even know what the fuck they're trying to do with the Titania. And
There's
honestly, I really just
That was
don't
actually
really
my
give a
next
shit.
question, Riot. Since we're talking about plot, like, do we have any inkling on where we're going, minus the fact that Titania is suing her?
I think they're killing time for
It's
the
all-
Hulk to come back in the last 2 episodes with a kid.
It's also Daredevil. It's all literal.
Daredevil's next episode. Daredevil's next episode.
It has to.
It has to be. It's like literally
really
all of
does.
the first 4 episodes literally just
Filler.
going
Oh.
slowly to get to Daredevil. That's all this is.
I need to
Filler.
see Dives pissed off at them making Daredevil funny.
Could
That's
you
gonna be
imagine?
awesome.
Could you
No,
imagine?
no, Dives.
You
I
might
need you to
bust a-
record
burst a blood
yourself.
vessel.
I need you to record yourself watching
That
that
would be it,
episode
that'd
of
be it.
Daredevil. I need
That'd
you to
be
do
it.
it.
If they make Daredevil into this lighthearted like style tone,
They
That
did,
could-
by the way. They did. Charlie Cox has talked about how he liked doing a lighthearted take on on his character.
I can't. Guys, that's
So-
the end.
Well, that being
That's
said,
the end.
folks,
It's dead.
let's do
It's
a
dead.
rapid fire, starting with Amanda.
Oh,
Grade this
yeah.
episode.
I just want to touch upon what Caitlin just
Oh yeah,
said.
go for it.
Jen probably just shows us what she wants us to see, like Joker, which is very interesting because she does. Well, Joker doesn't break the fourth wall, but she's breaking the fourth wall, so it's her story. So that's interesting, and we could
What?
see like a totally different side of it. It's interesting. She shows us what she wants us to see. I think that's interesting if you're gonna look at it from that perspective.
I don't think they
She's
take
not really
that
showing us
far.
anything, though. We're following her.
They don't
We're not-
even
she's
the
not
fourth
showing
wall
us anything.
breaking. Like the fourth wall breaking is just
Not
so she
used
can
in a
crack
good
a
way.
joke. Like there's nothing like character wise that would like it. Just like it's just again written by people that have no idea how people work. Is I don't know.
Can I be fair though? Like I've been pretty nice to this show, but I did kind of cringe when she was like, "Oh, it gives us Twitter armor or something," and I was like,
told you
Yeah,
that.
I
I was like,
cringe.
"Oh, she,
Yeah, it was so
she said it
cringe.
out loud, like
But I'm
they
not-
are acknowledging us." Like,
I
don't-
literally yelled at the camera last week during a review about that, and they're like throwing it in our face.
yeah, that's what that
Yeah.
felt like. But
Yeah.
hey, really quick, let's
Yes.
do a quick rapid fire. Amanda,
Yeah.
great.
I am at a 5 out of 10 for this
Ooh.
Yeah.
episode. Yeah,
Dives.
or 4. Actually, I'm gonna drop it to a 4. Continue. Dives,
Good
sorry.
lord. Dives.
Yeah, Christian, this is not like Seinfeld. Let's
No.
let's stop. There's other sitcoms that have overarching plots going on. Let's just
Friends.
pump the brakes here. Come on,
Like
man.
Friends.
Like
No.
Friends, like I Met Your Mother. There's plenty of sitcoms out there. I thought this is probably a 4.5. I thought the Wong and Madison duo was yet another example of cringe MCU. The bar is just really at the lowest it's ever been. Like Ryan said, it's just a joke. Like I said, it's not a compliment. There's no heart. There's no engaging story. There's no likable characters. I honestly have no idea what is going on most of the time. It's supposed to be a sitcom, but the joke whiff literally every single time. And I hate that like everyone in the show is either a mega sexist, super dumb, or just mega annoying. I really don't relate to any of these characters. It made Bruce Banner a punch bag. Wong looked like a bumbling idiot in this episode, and I just can't get over the fact why the Sorcerer freaking Supreme would be mingling with American law. Nothing makes sense. The show is a complete joke. It's a 4 at best. I would recommend this show to no one.
4 out of 5.
4
So
out of 10.
I gotta touch on this really quick, guys. If you're not watching on YouTube, or if you're not watching right now, I mean, Christian said Seinfeld has no plot and it works, and then Ryan O'Toole said, "But Seinfeld is funny."
Phantom.
I mean, again, that is a credit to the writing of that show. It has stood the test of time.
Need
All the
answers,
Gabe's also
though.
asking, why are we putting ourselves through this? It's also because we do want
need
to entertain the
It's one
discussion. We do
show.
want to
Yeah.
see where the direction of the MCU is going because we have covered it so far up until this point. So, Dives, I'm sorry you have to suffer through this, but Gabe, what would you grade this episode?
I mean, I'm very disappointed because you guys know it. I enjoy a So Bad It's Good a lot. Like, I really enjoy like a So Bad It's Good movie or show or whatever. This show had been that for me. This episode, I feel like it was not even like engaging in the stupidity. Like they did this last episode. It didn't bother me that much, but like they were like, oh shit, I guess this is a superhero show. We have 5 minutes left. Let's just throw in an action scene with random little demons. Like, and it's just like, no, like, why are you doing this? You know, like it just. So I don't know. I mean, to me, this is like 3 out of 10. I mean, this is even in the bad movie scale, it's very bad.
You know, to your point, Gabe, it's like Wong easily could have cleaned that up by himself, but he's over here, hey, Jen, I need you over here now. It's like, okay, sure you do.
Did anybody else get reminded of the scene in Gilderoy
No.
Lockhart in
Yes.
No.
Chamber of Secrets, yes.
Yeah, Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, where he couldn't get all the little bugs back in the cage, little
Yeah.
So next episode, we're gonna find out that Daredevil is there because of Kingpin and the Wrecking Crew. Because that's
Spoiler
very
alert.
predictable. I didn't watch 5. I'm saying it's my prediction. for
Spoilers.
this episode. No spoilers. That's the only
Wow,
explanation.
bro.
I didn't
Why would we
watch
still
the
let you
episode.
Thank you, Amanda.
I have no episode.
Jeez,
I didn't
bro.
watch
What
it.
a fucking buzzkill.
This is my prediction. I'm sorry.
Predation.
Prediction.
Hey,
I
Ryan.
can't speak today.
What was your grade?
Oh, dude, easily bottom of the barrel. 1. This show is just abysmal, bro. This lacks
Damn.
any sense of creativity and motivation. The people who wrote this feels like they just wrote this in bed as they watch fucking Grey's Anatomy all day. It's
while being on Twitter on their phone.
while being on Twitter, reading the MCU discourse for the past year and a half during the pandemic. because they had nothing better to do. And while drinking wine, because you got to add some red wine in there at some point. Because this also, maybe some like some suburban wives too, like that just sit around, drink wine, and watch like fucking Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies. Like this feels like a dream. Like that's why I'm kind of so shocked and blown away. Like I don't expect this type of quality from the MCU. Like I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly, but right now this is leaning towards the bottom of the barrel when it comes to like ranking and like how I feel towards MCU projects. This is like below Thor: The Dark World, below Iron Man 2. Like I'd much rather watch those two movies than probably stick through another whole season of at least the current show running and the writers that they have right now.
Whew, harsh. Not too many kind words to find here. Guys, listen. Melissa Gao, who's the showrunner of this?
Yeah, I think-
Kate Coiro. It's
No,
Kate
Kate
Coiro,
Coiro is the
showrunner.
director.
Isn't
And
she
then the writer's
showrunner?
Melissa Gao, right?
Melissa
I believe
Gao
it's
is the
Melissa
writer,
Gao, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Melissa Gao, Kate, look, I know it's 50
No hard
right
feelings.
now, but I'm just saying I'm having fun for what it is. I can't even remember what I graded the first episode, but I actually like this one. I don't even know what to put on the scale right now. Because
Yeah.
admittedly it's not terribly high. But yeah, with that being said though, I think that about wraps it up for us for the She-Hulk. Did we have any other lingering thoughts on this project that we want to elaborate on?
I can't wait for the text at the end of the season. She-Hulk will return. Like,
Oh god. Jessica Gao, my bad. I totally butchered her
I thought it
name.
was Melissa. Sorry.
I thought it was Melissa too. I think I'm thinking of someone else in the credits, but that's just. Anyways, at that rate though, let's say I think the Black Adam trailer just dropped, right? So please stay tuned on this channel. The geeks are gonna react to that in just a moment. If you guys want to join us, what else do we have coming up, guys?
Tomorrow, Rings of Power.
Rings of Power, baby.
And
Yeah.
House of Dragon
Power.
House of
Sunday.
Dragon on Sunday.
Does that come
I
out today?
cannot wait.
No, it comes out
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Tonight.
It was just
Comes out
special
tomorrow.
last week. 2-episode premiere on the Thursday.
Yeah,
Oh, when's it come out?
comes out
Fridays.
tomorrow. Yeah.
What
Oh
time?
yeah, Cobra Kai too, right?
Eastern.
Yes! Yes!
Cobra
Yeah.
Kai.
No,
Kai.
Cobra Kai's the end of the month.
Tomorrow.
No, it's
I thought
the
it was tomorrow.
9th.
I thought it was
Yeah,
the
it's tomorrow.
25th.
They moved it.
They moved it.
No way, bro.
Dude,
Yo,
Cobra
what?
Kai's tomorrow.
Y'all got stuff to watch. I'm so
Can't wait.
And
Cannot
then
wait.
Hold up.
pull up,
Also-
pull up
also-
Caitlin's comment.
Yeah, that's
So
the
Caitlin,
dude. Yeah.
Yes.
we actually do have some D23 stuff coming up, right, guys? We're gonna react to it.
Yeah,
Probably
so-
Saturday.
Yeah, so we have a
Saturday.
stream when
Sweet.
D23 starts. So we're gonna do an announcement reaction where sort of the same thing what me and Deebs did during Comic Con for their panel there when they announced all Phase 5 and part of Phase 6. Kind of gonna do the same thing. It's gonna be me, Amanda. Who else wants to join?
Come on in, gang.
And I'm probably gonna post it out there, see if anyone wants to come join, talk, and we're gonna talk about predictions. We already did a predictions live stream about like a month ago.
Yeah, we
I'm
did.
pretty sure.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. So if you want to go check that out, it was from like a month ago. It was like the same weekend as Comic-Con or something like that. I still stick by a lot of these thoughts, but I'm gonna bring a lot of them back up in the stream on Saturday and get all that. So
And no
yeah,
arguing, Christian.
Christian, DM us or DM me or
I'm
whoever.
in. I'm in for the Star Wars side as long as Gabe is not in for the Star Wars side.
I agree.
Oh!
I don't want to be in. I don't like Star Wars.
Smart.
Gabe's like, no, thank
But
you.
yeah.
I don't like Star
So yeah,
Wars.
please
We'll do
stay
it.
tuned to this channel. Please like and subscribe down below if you haven't. D23 Saturday, Rings of Power tomorrow. Really quickly, I want to thank Gabe, Mr. Film Opinionitis, Mr. Cinespection for joining us. Good friend of the podcast. Gabe, what's new with you, man? Where can people find you?
Oh, they can find me at Film Opinionitis and Cinespection at the Painted Lines. We should have a show Monday, I hope. I don't know what we're reviewing though. Probably something old that you haven't seen. So there you go.
Can you just pick one movie that I've watched so I don't have to watch it again for like
You know, you have to watch it and then you review it. That's how it usually
No,
works.
I know, but like I just want a
No,
movie
she
that you can
reviews
pick
it and then watches it.
that I've already seen before, and then I can just jump on and we'll be good.
Dave, let's do a Jean-Claude Van Damme show sometime.
Oh, God.
Yes. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
Hey, if you guys
yeah.
haven't seen Hard Target, directed by John Woo, watch
No.
Hard Target with Jean-Claude Van
Do you
Damme. It's
see?
excellent.
Do
You
you
ever-
see why I can never be on the show?
There's a lot of good JCVD options out there that could be fun.
Sudden Death. It's like Die Hard in a sports arena.
You ever see The Quest?
Sudden Death
Dude.
is great in a hockey
Sudden
game.
Death
That's
is
a
excellent.
good
He fights a
movie.
mascot.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Hey, shouts out Jean-Claude Van Damme. We see you.
Jeez.
But I think that about wraps it up. Please follow us on Twitter at the Seat of Geeks. And yeah, we will catch you guys in just a few minutes if you want to see us react to the Black Adam trailer. Until then, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in just a few.